When you think about 3D Mario games, you probably think of some of the best video games ever made. Super Mario 64 is praised for practically inventing a whole new genre. Galaxy is loved for its incredible atmosphere, and Odyssey has almost perfect controls. But there's one 3D Mario game that's always been a bit of a controversial topic among fans. That game is none other than the one and only Super Mario Sunshine. For years, this is what a lot of people remember. A slippery, frustrating mess, the broken camera, and the water jetpack that just felt like a gimmick. It's known as the weird middle child of the 3D Mario family, defined by its most infamous moments like the pachinko machine, the lily pad ride, and those dreaded blue coins. But what if I told you that this reputation isn't the whole story? That buried under all those complaints is one of the most creative and mechanically deep platformers Nintendo has ever made. I think a lot of people bounced off this game because they are trying to play it like Super Mario 64, and that was their first mistake. Today I want to take a deep dive and explore why this game has stood out to me, and how its biggest flaws are actually what make it so special. Now, I can absolutely understand why the game is so divisive. I get it. For over 2 decades, people have had strong opinions on this game. I mean, you get framed for a crime you didn't commit, put on trial by whatever kind of legal system they got going on in Delfino, and then you're forced to clean up an entire island with a talking water pump. It's a bizarre setup. And the game's fully voiced cutscenes, a first for the series, were definitely an interesting choice. And the common complaints have some truth to them. The camera, while better than 64's in some ways, can still be a nightmare in tight spots. The physics feel different, more slippery, a little less predictable, and the difficulty can be absolutely brutal. Missions like escorting a giant watermelon or navigating that infamous lily pad ride feel less like fun and more like a test of your patience. Then you've got the blue coins, a collectathon so massive that a lot of players just gave up. It's easy to see why Sunshine got labeled the black sheep for deviating so far from what came before. Felt weird, it felt difficult, and for a lot of people, it just didn't feel like Mario. But that's the key. It wasn't trying to be Mario 64, it was trying to be something new, and the heart of that new idea is strapped right onto Mario's back. The single biggest point of debate, and the game's most misunderstood feature, is F.L.U.D, the Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dosing device. A lot of people dismissed it as a gimmick that made the platforming too easy. They saw the hover nozzle as just a crutch, a way to cheese jumps and skip challenges. But that's a surface-level take on one of the most expressive tools ever given to Mario. F.L.U.D doesn't replace Mario's moveset, it fundamentally enhances it. It's not a jetpack, it's an extension of Mario's momentum. I mean, the one thing I always felt was missing from Mario 64 was a mid-air correction tool. F.L.U.D's hover nozzle is a perfect mid-air correction tool that always saves me when I mess up an input. A perfectly timed hover doesn't just save you from a fall, it lets you correct your arch and chain movements together with a fluidity that Mario 64 couldn't ever dream of. Mastering it means learning to combine it with Mario's classic moves to create this graceful acrobatic ballet. It introduces a new skill ceiling that rewards players who really take the time to understand it. And F.L.U.D is so much more than the hover nozzle. The rocket nozzle sends you soaring, creating awesome vertical shortcuts. The turbo nozzle turns you into a human speedboat, letting you skim across water and bust through doors. Each nozzle makes you see the world differently. And the act of spraying the icky paint-like goop connects what you're doing directly to the story of cleaning the island. To see F.L.U.D as just a gimmick is to miss the entire point. It's the engine behind one of Mario's most unique movement systems. And honestly, it just feels good to move around. If F.L.U.D is the game's mechanical heart, then Delfino Plaza is its soul. Moving on from the mechanics, we have the incredible hub world that is Delfino Plaza. I have, and I am not even joking when I say this, spent hours just running around this place over the years. It's up there with Peach's Castle and the Comet Observatory as one of my favorite video game hub worlds. Unlike the empty halls of Peach's Castle, Delfino Plaza feels like a living, breathing place. It evolves as you clean it up, revealing new shortcuts and bringing life back to the town square. What I always loved about this place though was its secrets. I mean, with the amount of shines and blue coins you find here, Delfino Plaza is practically its own entire level. And its theme is just so good, I could listen to it for hours. This amazing design extends to every single level. By far the biggest strength of Mary's Sunshine stages is their connectivity. What I mean by that is, in the simplest sense, every single level in the game is connected. From the sun-soaked shores of Gelato Beach to the dizzying heights of Pianta Village, every location feels like a real, tangible part of this island. You aren't just jumping into abstract paintings, you are taking a boat to a bustling harbor or checking into a haunted hotel. In almost every level, you can see other locations and stages far off in the distance. I always loved heading to different stages and seeing what landmarks I could spot, because it was just another way to get immersed in the wonder of Isle Delfino. The consistent theming makes the island more believable and real. Now, let's talk about the hard parts, because this game is absolutely not without its fair share of flaws. Yes, this game can be unforgiving, but the difficulty is often misunderstood. The most notorious challenges are the secret levels, abstract platforming gauntlets where Shadow Mario takes F.L.U.D. away from you, forcing you to platform through the stages without being able to hover with ease. I love how these stages force players to get more familiar with Mario's other moves, like the spin and dive. The secret stages are what taught me just how powerful these moves were. But these levels aren't perfect. Some of them tend to be designed in a more unfair way, but for the most part, conquering these levels provides a sense of accomplishment that is deep and hard-earned. And even the most infamous shines serve a purpose. They push you to master every part of your moveset. The pachinko machine isn't just about luck, it's about precise controls and using the hover nozzle in short bursts. The lily pad ride is a brutal one-shot test of patience. Are some of them janky? Absolutely. Are they sometimes unfair? Without a doubt. But these moments of extreme challenge are part of the game's identity. There are so many areas in this game that are clearly rushed, and it honestly hurts to see all the missed potential. But it's that friction that makes the victories so sweet. For too long, Super Mario Sunshine has been defined by what it isn't rather than celebrated for what it is. It's not Mario 64 Part 2. It's a bold, creative, and sometimes messy experiment that dared to be different. It has so many redeeming qualities. For one, the connectivity of all the levels make Isle Delfino feel like a real place. The movement is almost perfect. There are very few Mario games that have me feeling as in control as I do in Sunshine. And for the most part, the game is incredibly creative with its level design and atmosphere. I often find myself getting lost in the wonders of levels, like Rico Harbor and Pina Park, and wish there are real places I could travel to. Over the past few years, since my first time completing Sunshine, every single year, I've learned to love the game more and more. I've accepted that the game has its flaws and will never be perfect, but I've also grown to appreciate the good aspects of it much more. Its perceived flaws, the weirdness, the difficulty, the reliance on F.L.U.D. are the very things that make it a masterpiece. So to answer the question, is Super Mario Sunshine bad? Personally, no, but I can absolutely understand others feeling differently. So please let me know in the comments what you think about Super Mario Sunshine, and if you truly believe the game is bad or not. Thanks for watching. I was David. Bye. Have a nice day.